easy to buy a house in your head. You tap an app, scroll through beautiful photos, and picture your furniture in the living room. You've done the hard part. You've scraped together a down payment, and now you're actively hunting through public listings, looking for that perfect entry-level Oakland County spot. In this market, the listing price acts as an invitation to the table, rather than a final accounting of the costs. When you make an offer, that single listing price fractures into a maze of inspections, appraisal gaps, and legal contingencies. If you hit these hurdles alone, you end up making panicked decisions that cost thousands or burn you out. The trap buyers fall into is treating a real estate transaction like an online shopping cart. Window shopping is simply not a winning strategy. Completing a purchase requires navigating a minefield of financial trade-offs. To do that without blowing your budget, you need a dedicated guide who knows exactly where the traps are hidden. Let's look at your true budget, which goes beyond the cash you bring on day one. Online mortgage calculators train you to focus entirely on hitting that 5 to 20% down payment. This chart graphs out your home buying costs by impact and predictability. Your down payment sits right up here. It's a massive number, but you know exactly what it is. The financial shock comes from the secondary costs that trigger the moment your offer is accepted. Property tax prorations, closing costs, title insurance, and required escrow buffers drop straight into the low predictability zone. They add up fast, and they can catch you entirely off guard. If you haven't factored these into your hard limit, you have to choose between draining your emergency savings or walking away from the house completely. Guessing at these numbers guarantees financial stress. You have to lock down a defensive budget strategy before you ever write an offer. When you walk into an open house, the agent at the door isn't there to help you negotiate. That's the listing agent. By law, their job is to secure the absolute highest price and best terms for the seller. This matrix breaks down how representation works. Unrepresented, or using the listing agent, leaves your financial limits unprotected. A buyer's agent flips this. Under an agreement, a buyer's agent has a legal, fiduciary duty to protect your interests, negotiate, and keep your limits confidential. This is where an experienced guide like Kathy Remski provides the professional oversight needed to protect your interests. Working with Kathy gives you a dedicated advocate, and her commission is paid entirely out of the seller's proceeds from the sale price. You secure professional, strategic negotiation power at zero out-of-pocket cost to you as the buyer. So you have your budget secured and your representation locked in. Now you have to actually find the house. Relying solely on the public feed from apps like Zillow or Redfin is exhausting. By the time a good house hits those apps, you are already behind. Look at this data funnel. At the top, you have the public MLS listings. Thousands of buyers are looking at the exact same limited pool of homes, creating immediate bidding wars. You bypass that bottleneck by tapping into a private network. Kathy utilizes the @Properties Remy Christie's International Real Estate Network to find off-market homes. This gives you early access to inventory before it ever reaches the wider public feed. The catch is that off-market sellers want certainty. To play in this space, you must have your pre-approval complete and be ready to move immediately. Accessing a hidden inventory network helps you avoid public bidding wars and the associated emotional exhaustion. Buying a home here is a complex financial operation. If you want to guess at your budget buffers and fight through bidding wars on your own, you can, but it exposes you to serious financial risk. This flowchart shows the alternative, a structured path: pre-approval, consultation, a targeted network search, a precise offer strategy, and a secure closing. This sequence depends on the step where you define your goals and representation, sitting down for a formal buyer consultation with a professional. The outcome of this meeting includes financial predictability and access to unlisted properties, all with no out-of-pocket cost to you. Securing a trusted fiduciary like Kathy Remski gives you an edge. It is the absolute core strategy for making sure your first home purchase is a sound, secure investment.